Hey, this is Man Cave Comics with my inaugural video. I'm here in Wilton, New Hampshire. We're near the post office downtown, and a little bit down the road from there, you cross the railroad tracks and go down into the Riverview Artist Mill. And down at the very bottom in a white building is supposedly a comic book store. We're going to go check it out. And then I got a CGC back of one of my grails we're going to take a look at, and we're going to talk about pricing and auction pricing, online pricing, that kind of stuff. Some fun stuff. So stay tuned, and let's walk up there. So this is the road you come down from the post office, and I believe it's in this white building right here. So we're going to go take a look down this main door. They got their open sign. It's kind of tucked away, so I was told you can also get in a door sometimes down at that area there, but we're gonna go in this door. He said just in case this one's locked. Oh crap, covering up. My first video, you're gonna have to give me some slack. Oh, what's this? Webster Creek. That's where we're going, Webster Creek. Scale models, comic books, open Tuesday, 12 to 6. Yep, it's Wednesday. It should be open. All right. And we're supposed to go this way, I think. And there it is. Door shut, though. Sign says closed. Oh, no. Good thing, because I can open it. Yes, that's right. I am the owner of Webster Creek. Sorry for fooling anybody. I hope I don't get points off for that. Yeah, we'll open her up. It is actually 12 o'clock right now, so I'm not late. Okay, everybody. Oh, I'll leave the door open. This is Webster Creek, and it's a little bit of a sad little place that I put together just recently, but it's a lot of things in here, and there's a few comic books, as you can see, and there's a comic book sign sitting on top of some comic books. Well, actually the sign for us. Let me put these DP7s back over where they belong. So yeah, this is my store. It's yet to get a lot of traffic because I haven't really advertised it, so this video and probably some stuff I've done today on Facebook will be the first kind of foray into the wonderful world of selling comic books. And you can put in the comments section down below, well, what a fool, you're getting it at the wrong time. Yeah, well, you know, luckily you can buy stuff cheap right now, so hopefully not. These are all like 50-cent comics we're looking at right here. So there's just, you know, a lot of stuff in here that I couldn't go through it all, and you know, they're good readers. They're good, you know, even some solid, probably high grades in here that, you know, just probably newer stuff. But I was like, I don't really care. Oh, and that one was already ripped. It was already ripped. It was already that way. But yeah, there's, you know, everything. These are the DC boxes. There's 3 Marvel boxes here. There's 2 indie boxes down at the end. So that's all 50 cents. The majority of those boxes are going to be all 50 cents. I've gone through a lot of these and separated out a bunch over here that are going to be probably eventually $3 or go back into the 50-cent, or maybe be elevated up to $5–10. But a lot of these were not, you know, a lot of them are Bronze Age, but not a lot of silvers, not a lot of golds. I did find one gold in the first batch of these that I bought, which was it's over here somewhere. But you know, I've been finding little treasures like Amazing Heroes, this Image United, which I only did get the 1 copy. These I bought through Whatnot. So this Crime Detective, I got a what, a 52, I think, or 53. 52 Crime Detective, detached covers, you know, but otherwise solid book. Found these Evangelines. Had a tick from a long time ago from a previous auction. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff we got. I'm not going to say it's the best comic book store ever, because it's not, but you know, if you're looking for a niche store with maybe a lot of bronze and some modern and a little bit of silver and gold goodness, you know, check us out. We're not overpriced. I mean, I'm overpriced on probably some of my paintings and some other things that I sell. I'm also dabble here and there in flea markets and auctions, stuff I've owned. Like I've owned this poster since it was new, and as far as I know, it's probably one of the very few you could find. License plate, which came off of a guy I sold a car to. We went to pick it up in Germany. So, you know, brand new German license plate from 1989 or so. And then the vast majority of other things in here are scale modeling related. So there's a lot of scale model stuff, a lot of models from the 2000s, teens mostly, and all either unbuilt or some unopened, but some opened and looked through and so forth. But yeah, we've got things like that. Grumman, this is a brand new kit, and you know, my prices are not uber cheap. What, did I not price this one yet? Okay, this one, well, this one's unpriced, but that's going to be over $100, just FYI. But yeah, so if you're into scale modeling as well as scale models, if you're into scale modeling as well as comic books, I was about to say, yeah, come check us out. So, all right, well, we're back at the home base, my home, not the Webster Creek place. This is actually the man cave. So the term man cave comics, I understand from my girlfriend, can be a contentious term, but it's not meant to be. It's just, this is my male, I'm a male, and this is my man cave. So it has nothing to do with the channel, or just, you know, it's just the place that I make these videos from, usually. So that's why it's called Man Cave Comics. It's not meant to be anything derogatory. The store is open to women. I'd love to have some female comic book collectors in there. I'd love to, you know, I'd love to show off my comic book collection to my girlfriend, although she's not very interested in comics. So, which, you know, but that doesn't mean there's a whatever sex bias to comic books. I don't believe that's true at all. There are plenty of my daughter, who's around 24 years of age, she used to read comic books, and I think she still dabbles in them occasionally. So anyways, that covered the subject of the name of the channel. Hope that's not an issue, but yeah, I did scroll the internet and was like, oh my goodness, there's lots of people saying this is a major, you know, there are lots of people saying there's no big deal, but there were, you know, just like today in the world, half of the people believe one thing, half people believe the other. I like to be kind of more in the middle, which means I can use a term and I know my intentions are pure, they're not exclusionary, so I'm okay with using the title Man Cave Comics. Sorry, get to know this. This is just the way I am. All right, so we were going to do a little bit of an unboxing. I got actually a second CGC rated comic book in that hopefully I'm not going to upset my camera too much. I've got a really professional setup here. My camera is balanced on top of my speaker, which is leaning against one of my other monitors. And to get lighting, because there really isn't good lighting in this room, I've got my screen. Let me close this because it's affecting my white. There we go. I've got my screen on a white screen to give myself enough light here to work with. So I should have prepared myself a little bit better. I'm gonna have to edit this part out where I run over and get something to open this with, just so you know, when you see a little, you know, yeah, that's all there is to it. Okay, well, I have no idea what this is. It's some kind of small micro tool, probably for doing like screwdriver things. Oh, it's sharp. All right, we're gonna use this to unbox though. So I was saying in the preview of this video, this is definitely one of my grails. It hasn't been a grail for a long time. I actually saw it on eBay, and I was like, interesting packing job. I don't like it when they move around too much. I mean, there's just nothing in there. It's like, you know, I really wish people who send CGC rated comics would say. The first ones I got, because I haven't been buying these that long, and the first ones I got were amazing in terms of the way they were packed. You know, they were just the double postal box thing with like bubble wrap around it. And people, I mean, this has bubble wrap around it, which is nice, but not a lot. You know, they're really,
not that much in there. Like, if the box got crushed or something, this would definitely have gotten damaged. Luckily, it was not crushed. So, but as I was saying, I found this comic book through just a random stream that came up on eBay, and immediately fell in love with the cover. I think it's got probably one of the best covers I've ever seen. The artwork and the thing, and as you'll see, it is A Strange Adventures 205. Did I get that right? Yes. And this is the first appearance, or the first comic with Dead Man in it. Now, I've never even read a Dead Man comic, so again, this is definitely cover collecting, which I do a lot of, and hopefully we're not too much glare here, but yeah, unfortunately with my lighting, yeah, that's about the best I'm going to get grail wise. But if you guys have seen this cover before, it definitely is cool. When I first time I saw it, I thought, because I saw I'm big into like naval novels and things, so I saw this as like a mast of a ship, even though if I'd looked at it more closely, I would have realized it's the interior of a circus. And you know, but the artwork and this kind of bronzy brown color is just, I don't know, it just spoke to me. So I've been on the lookout for one, and this is a 5.0, obviously. It cost me about $300, which I thought was a good deal. The fair market value, I think, is like $360 on this right now. Now, of course, I will affect the fair market value because I've now paid less than the going rate. So that's the thing. Every time you get a good deal, especially on something on eBay and stuff, remember, the price is probably going to go down. Which, ironically, I bought another, I'll pull it down. I'm not going to show my whole collection here, but I'm just going to use it as a pricing example. I bought another piece recently, which is probably one of the most expensive comics I purchased, which is a Superman 18 as a 0.5. Now, this bid up. I wanted this. And this bid up, me and some other person, and probably several people actually, bid this all the way up to about $700. I think I paid $698 or something, like $690 something. And fair market value on this is, I don't know, $300 or $400. So I guess, but you know, it just goes to show, you know, that's what determines value is X amount of people in a room, whether it's an auction, you know, or a live auction, or X amount of people in, like on eBay, and they're willing to spend what they're willing to spend. That's what determines value. Not, you know, X thing over whatever 3-month period of, you know, You know, it really is about that. And you know, these probably were going up higher at one point, because I thought when I bought this that the fair market value was higher. I thought I'd like, oh, I overspent, but not that much. But then, you know, the algorithms trigger and X amount of days go by or whatever, and suddenly the fair market value dropped down. That happened to me on another Defenders #2, I think, where when I bought it, I could have sworn it had a fair market value of around $400, and now suddenly the fair market value is $200. Now, and I bought it for much less, so I affected the fair market value, but, you know, this is the way these things work. And I don't care about either of these two. You know, like I could have paid $400 for this. I wouldn't have been happy about it, but I mean, I might have spent $400 on it, even though the fair market value was lower. So yeah, but that's what I was going to say basically about when I talking about prices earlier, was that I think that a lot of people are under this idea that with the recent uptick during COVID, that, you know, when investors starting to invest in these, like a heritage auction. I just saw somebody post about an auction today. I think it was on Golden or something. But, you know, there were like power player people investing in comics who probably didn't really care about comics, but they knew that they were good investments. So you had them, you know, obviously pushing up the values of a lot of these high-priced comics. And those people are gone now. So, and they're gone, you know, from eBay, they're gone from Heritage, they're gone from Golden. And I'm not saying they're gone completely, by the way. I'm throwing out generalized terms here, but, you know, they're not as many of them as there were. And so therefore, just like I've seen on other auction scenarios, I used to watch a show, Chasing Classic Cars, you know, and this guy would bring in cars to Heritage and other car auctions, and he would put that up as no reserve. And you know, he'd sometimes be expecting $100,000 on a car and only get $60,000. And it's because, as he used to point out, there just weren't the people in the room. the right people weren't in the room for that particular car. Maybe it's worth $100,000, but at that point it was only worth $60,000 because the people in the room are willing to be. And this is what happens with comic books too. I mean, people talk about, you know, X Superman, maybe in Action Comics 1 or something went up recently and only got so-and-so. You know, what's it? Yeah, but the people in the room or the people online who saw it or whatever, the people who were like viewing that item were just not willing to spend the amount of money that the last person might have spent. It doesn't necessarily indicate a trend just because one, you know, comic book goes down. I mean, I see this all the time on YouTube. I mean, like, or YouTube. I'm going to cross YouTube and eBay a lot because I do this just, you know, in my own head. But I see this a lot on eBay, right? I just was looking at pricing today on various comic books at the store, and, you know, X4 comic books went for 99 cents plus shipping, you know, and these were comic books that are worth $4, $5, $10, you know, but somebody got that deal, you know, they pulled down the average, you know, of that particular comic, if it was even tracked. Of course, you know, like when most systems that track CGC level stuff, they only track CGC sales, they don't track all the raw comics. But you know, if there's a tracker out there tracking raw comics, and there probably is, I'm just not aware of it, but you know, all those factors would be in play, right? You know, just because somebody had some auction somewhere that, like, you know, they were willing to put something for 99 cents. Honestly, I honestly, it's like eBay started with 99-cent auctions, or maybe even lower. I'm not have to check this to be sure, but they started with, I think, 99-cent auctions back in 1997 or 8 or whenever they started, and they still have 99-cent auctions, even though we all know that a dollar isn't worth what a dollar was in 1998, and especially now that we've gone through this, you know, hyperinflation cycle. So, but yet people still keep putting up stuff for 99 cents. And you know, I have stuff at like I said, at the store that's 50 cents. But most of those, to be fair, are either ones that don't have a lot of value because people aren't collecting them, or they're damaged, stained, whatever. They're, you know, they're not high grade comics, they're low grade. And even to some degree, like readers, if they're folded, dented, torn, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, just sometimes I look at something, you know, like the fact that somebody's willing to pay $300 for this, or I was anyways, but another person would walk along and they'd only be willing to pay $50, you know. So it's like, again, this all is the free market system. It determines what prices are and so forth. So, but sometimes some things, like when I look at eBay pricing and like recent sales or sold items, you have to know that sometimes there just weren't enough people looking at that item or finding that item on eBay, and therefore that's why it sold for 99 cents. Not because there wasn't somebody out there willing to spend more for it. It's just that was it. All right, enough of me rambling on, which I will do on occasion. So if you like rambling, this is the channel to subscribe to. Now, I'm not expecting a lot of subscribers. I'm not going to make a ton of videos, not unless I start doing what some of my other online channel that I watch do, which would go out and, like, you know, actually pick and hunt and so forth. I've done that. I've definitely traveled around the state. I'm in New England, and I've traveled around the sate and done things like that. But I'm busy. I got other things. I have other businesses. I have, you know, somebody who's probably watching one of my other, or a member of one of my other things is going to find this and go, "Oh, I didn't know you did this." But anyways. So this other one is just one that I found recently. I'm a Star Wars fan, as you can tell probably from the Revenge of the Jedi poster behind me. And, oh, I lost my lighting. Quick, come back to me, white light. There we go. This one I found online. I didn't even know about these. They're Dark Horse from the 2000s or teens, I think. I'm not even sure the date these came out. But, and they are Star Wars comics based on the original screenplays, you know, the early screenplays of George Lucas. So they have like I assume like Luke Starkiller characters and so forth. Again, I can't read this because I've never seen one of these. If I find one of these out in the wild, raw, I will definitely buy it so that I can check it out. But this is the sad part about buying graded comics, right? Is that really sticky tape on CGC or on slab. Thanks. Go away. All right. So yeah, it's this one, which is a variant cover. There were like a bunch of variant covers with this, but so Star Wars #1 in the says based on George Lucas's original rough draft screenplay. And again, I'm guessing maybe this is Luke Starkiller on the front, but kind of more of like I don't think it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's more of like an old man like me with a beard. And you can see lightsabers and stuff. I mean, the art is the new art, obviously, that this person's, whoever penned this and did the, it is George Lucas's right, of course. And then this is why my glasses. I need my glasses. I can't read anything. I'm going back to the old man thing. Mike Mayhew art, Doug Wheatley cover, based on George Lucas's original rough draft screenplay. And I thought it was great to get this in a 9.8 for, I believe, only $30 plus shipping. I thought that was a steal because I believe this has a much higher fair market value. But again, I've driven down the fair market value. I'm sorry, everyone who owns this as a 9.8. I've ruined it for you all. Interesting back cover. Oh, I guess that's like a marbly effect. There's a Target ad on the back here, but I don't know if you won't be able to see it in this, but it's got like a marbled effect. So when I saw it, I was like, how did this get a 9.8 with the paper looking like that? But yeah, it's just like a marble effect. So I will do what I always do when I get these. I will inspect them to make sure they don't look like they're futzed with. But yes, this one is going to go right back here. I saved a slot for it. So I guess I have the whole Star Wars lane. At some point, if this channel goes anywhere, which I'm not saying it will, maybe this was just an ad for my store. But if I do make more videos, I will put them up and maybe talk about my collection, and it's not a huge collection. I literally only had maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I had probably 50 comic books total, and a lot of those I've gotten in the 90s. I had some Star Wars comics that I'd collected back in my youth, like Battlestar Galactica and a few other things. But yeah, I didn't have a lot of comic books at all, and I had read comic books obviously as a youth, but I wasn't like I was more of a Star Wars fan and not really a comic collector. But I wish I had collected more. I wish I collected some 35-cent Star Wars. I could retire now if I just maybe grabbed a handful of those, and when they were available. But yeah. All right, well, I will sign off now. Thanks for watching. Leave comments, make suggestions, what I did right or what I did wrong. Tell me who your favorite YouTube comic book channel is. I'd be curious. I mean, I know who mine is, but I will leave that also as a mystery for now. And we will catch up next time. All right. Bye-bye.